Hey everybody, Joy here. Joy on Sunday after church, so no more coffee for me. It is Sunday, August 16. I'm pretty sure. 2020. I'm positive it's 2020. And so guess what I'm going to show you guys? I was able to get all of my pieces together that I ordered for my new pattern organization system. Part of it wasn't supposed to be here for another 7 days, but it came this weekend. So I was able to get my pattern organization system almost all done. I still have some things I need to do, but I have enough of it together that I can show you. So it turns out that I have over 500 commercial patterns. It's like 538 or something. I think I might have already told you all this. And I think I might have shown you, if you see duplicates here, just fast forward or something, because I can't remember what I showed you and what I didn't at this point. You know, that was before today. But the first thing we did was Terry came over and I pulled all my patterns out of all the places that I keep them. I still have one box of patterns that's just cutting line designs. It's just one of those long skinny ones that actually holds patterns. And then I have one that's holding silhouette patterns. But I don't have that many of those, so they all fit easily each into a box. So I left those like they already were, okay? But all my other patterns from both houses, I took out and I put in the middle of the floor in just a giant mountain. And Terry came over and we crawled around the floor for hours and we put all those patterns in order by number. I took a little video of it or a picture of it or something. If I can find it, I'll put it right here. Hey everybody, it's me, Joy, over here. Oh. It is, what the heck day is it? Thursday?
It's Thursday the 6th.
August 6th, 2020, and you remember Tara Bear?
Hey!
Remember I told you she was going to come help me organize? So this is going to be step 1 of my organization video. I'm not sure how much the camera can see. Can you see way over here? Way over here's my stack.
Yeah.
And way over here's the stack Terry's working on.
Way
and what we're doing is we're just picking up each pattern and putting it in its number by 1,000, 2,000. They're all thousands, aren't they, Terry?
Yeah, they are all thousands.
We're putting them in their thousands stack.
Almost all.
So like all the 6,000s are in a stack, all the 1,000s are in a stack, all the 2,000s are in a stack, and I have a stack and she has a stack, then we're going to put the stacks together. And this way, as we're going through them, we can find all the duplicates and we're pulling out the duplicates and separating them. Because Terry's going to photograph every single cover.
I am, really.
This is the system she came up with, which is super brilliant. It's different than everybody else's, but you have to have a picture to start with. So we only want one picture of each pattern, so we want duplicates and triplicates taken out, so we only take the picture one time. Okay, so I'll scan the floor so you can see it better. Now here in the bedroom, I had a bottom drawer of that dresser right there full of patterns, and almost all of them are children's. So I've decided I don't have any children in my life except Pumpkin Pants, and I don't think they really care for homemade clothes. So I think I'm going to just give all of those to Goodwill. Over there are how you make draperies and napkins and sewing stuff. I don't know if I'm keeping those either. And there's the fabric that's not put away yet. So here's Terry's stack right here. And here we are stacked up in the thousands. And then there's my stack over there. So this is step 1. We still have to pull them all out of those boxes there and stack them. When this stack over here I pulled out of the drawer in this bedroom. We haven't been through it yet.
Boxes, and that right there is all we have left to put in our stacks. Then we can start organizing them according 2100, 2101, 2102. Yes, Joanne.
No.
You should have seen the look on her face. Yes.
No.
Yes. Then we're doing
We have to organize them by number before we take the pictures?
Yes, we do, because that's how we catch all the duplicates, Joy.
Oh, crumb.
That's why you have me.
Man, she's a hard taskmaster, y'all.
I am. I got to crack the whip on her.
All right, we'll come back when we do the next step. When Terry tells me what it is. All right, this is an update an hour or two later. And this is what we're doing. You can see we're using these boxes that I used to have my patterns in to put everything in order by number. So Terry's working on the 6s. So she's putting all the 6s in order. We're throwing all the duplicates over here. Those are all duplicates. I'm still going to keep the duplicates, but we don't want to take pictures of the duplicates more than once. So now we have over here, we have all of the, what numbers are those? They start with 0.
1,000.
Those aren't even 1,000, starts with 600, but those are the 1,000s. These are the 2,000s.
And the 3s and the 4s.
2s, 3s, and 4s. Didn't have very many of those. And then this is all 5s. Terry's working on the 6s.
This is the 6s. Oh,
This is the duplicates. I pulled out all the silhouette patterns. They're going to be separate. And over here, this is what I organized. And you can see there was a whole bunch of 8s. There's the 7,000s, the 8,000s, and not very many 9,000s at all. Indigo Junction, who are they? And the Bally Effect, who are they? And here's T-shirt trifecta. This is safety pockets. Remember the safety pockets lady? One of her tops I've made a dozen times, and she sent me some free stuff. I have Islander. This was from some Craftsy classes. All a Mode is from some classes Philly and I took years ago from a lady. It was a Peggy Sager's event. And there was a whole bunch of different teachers there. There's another safety pockets, I think. Yep. Safety pockets, safety pockets. Cool cardigans, Pamela's patterns. The long and short of it, I don't know who they are. And this is the Swing Fever jacket and pants. That looks like it goes with that company, although I don't know what company it is. After we did that, then Terry had to go home. I think she helped me do one little stack, but then she had to go home. And so I did the rest myself. And it took quite a while. And it was an uncomfortable task because you had to be down on the floor to do it. And getting up from the floor these days is not that easy. So you might want to put your piles, if anybody decides they want to do it like this. Now, listen, I realize I may be the only person on the planet that likes this system I came up with. But I love it, and so does Terry. A lot of you are probably going to say, oh, dear Lord, no, we don't want to do that. But I'm telling you how I decided to do it, okay? That's all this is about, is how I decided to do it. So the next thing I did was I got my, well, let me show you what I got. I got this. This is my oldest camera that I have up here. This is my Sony, seems like my stuff's all Sony CyberShot 12.1 pixels. So I went around with every pattern and I took a picture of every single pattern. Click, next, click, next, click, next, click, next, click, next. Okay, so that took a long time. But then I have this cord, this is kind of broken. I have a cord that plugs into the bottom of this camera. You have to have a digital camera to do what I did, okay? And my cord plugged into the bottom of this camera, and then I plugged it into my desktop computer over there, and then I downloaded all the pictures I took from this camera. Okay, does that make sense? I downloaded all of the pictures and put them over there on that computer. Now I have a photo editing software called Photoshop. It's Photoshop Elements, I think. Photoshop Elements for pictures, and then I have Photoshop Elements Premiere for videos, and that's how I edit my videos, like I'm going to do right now with this video. Now, when I took the pictures, they weren't any particular size. The camera has different choices of different size pictures, but I found out from a friend one time, and pardon my voice, it's allergy morning. I found out from a friend one time that if you take a bigger picture to start with, when you shrink it down, it will be higher resolution. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but anyway, that's what I did, and I just took them all the same size. Then Terry told me that you can send them to like Walgreens or CVS or Target or some other place she thought of. She didn't mention Target right away, but she mentioned some other places. Well, we looked at those places and they wanted like 25 cents a picture or something. And I thought, oh my God, no way, no way. But then she called me later that day and she said, Joy, Target has half price for 3 days on pictures. And I wanted all of my pictures to be quite small. So it didn't matter what size I took the picture. You can choose at the photo lab, at Target and wherever else, you can choose what size you want your picture to be, okay? So I had already decided, because I'd already looked on Amazon for pages that I wanted to put these in. I knew I wasn't going to separate my pattern from the envelope. I knew I wanted to keep them together. I knew I wanted them to be in order by number, no matter what company they were. I just wanted them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't care what company they were. If I had a pattern that didn't have a number, I just gave it a number, okay? So I was looking on Amazon for these clear plastic, oh, I don't know what you call them. I'm sure they probably have a formal name. It says Pro 4T by BCW on this one, 4. And the reason it has a 4 is it has 4 pockets. They came so you could get them with 1 big open pocket, or you could get 3 4x6 pockets, but one of the pockets was sideways. And I didn't want one of my pictures to be sideways. So I decided to get the one that has 4 pockets. See, there's 2 up here, and there's 2 down here. See, 4 pockets. So the pictures to go into this size of a holder had to be 3.5 by 5 inches. Some of the companies, before we looked up Target, didn't make 3.5 by 5 inch pictures, but Target does. It's under other sizes, and they were all half price, and so I paid like 9 cents a piece for these pictures. I think my total cost was like $75 or something. I thought it was extremely reasonable. When you consider that, for me to buy the ink for my printer, it's over $100 because I have to get 5 boxes of different colors of ink, and that's $100. So I thought, hey, let's waste Target's ink, right? So these weren't supposed to be here. These are the things that weren't supposed to be here for another 7 days. They came this weekend, so I was so super excited. So let me show you. Let me show you before I show you how I filed the patterns themselves. Let me show you how my counter book, as Viv calls it, let me show you how my counter book turned out. I'm so excited with it. I love it. Terry loves it. Let me show it to you. All right, this is a binder I got at Amazon. It is a 2-inch binder. I got a heavy-duty 2-inch binder. All 500 pictures are in this one binder. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to have 4, 5, 6 binders I had to go through. I wanted to go sit down with my cup of coffee or my glass of iced tea and sit up in my new little living room that I love so much and just look through this book to my heart's content. I didn't want to have half a dozen different books. So, because of how I did it, you can actually see 8 patterns at once. Look here. 8 patterns at one time. How awesome is that? I love it, love it, love it. Because I put the pictures front and back on each page. So each pocket has 2 pictures. See? So then, the next thing I did is I wanted to separate them by category. And I thought, oh, I don't have any of those little things with those colored things sticking out. But look at what I did and how nice it looks. See my little labels? Can you tell all I did was cut a file folder down the center, cut a file folder down the center, then I took my label maker machine and I printed out labels. So I have, I'm going to cut my face here if I'm not careful. I've got blouses and tops. And then there's some that has pants and skirts and a top and a jacket and everything else. I called those separates. Then I have those. They're commercial patterns, but I've used my SureFit designs to copy them. Or I've just made up my own pattern with SureFit designs. So I made a section for SureFit designs. Then, how many patterns do I have that I've Palmer and Pleshed? You all know me and Palmer and Plesh. So if I've taken a commercial pattern and I've Palmer Pleshed it, I have a section for that. And I have a whole bunch of them. You can see. See there? And see how the pictures are yellow in the back? That's because they're right there in this egg crate, and I put them all in these yellow envelopes. Now, I spent a lot of my time yesterday cutting down the big envelopes into small envelopes. I still have this many to go. Can y'all see that? To cut down into this size envelope, and when I do that, I'll be able to turn these sideways. See how I gave them a number? I numbered that 101, 103, 107, 110, 115. The other numbers are back there waiting to be cut down. Okay, so they have a number. So I'm planning on turning these sideways, and so they'll take up the room of 2 commercial patterns, but I can still put them in order by number with my other patterns. You're going, where are your other patterns? Well, I'll show you in a minute where my other patterns are. So my last 2 dividers are bottoms, because I had skirts and I had pants, and I didn't want to do skirts and pants, so I just did bottoms. And then after that, I did the toppers and the coats. Here's all my toppers and my coats. And see, there's 8. You can see 8 of them. So here was the next problem. The next problem was I always had my commercial patterns filed in those long, skinny boxes. And I started to throw them away, but I didn't. I kept them because I thought, I don't know, maybe I'll need them in the future for some reason, and you can't find them anymore. They're really nice. But I had them in those long, skinny boxes. And so I thought, hey, I'll just take these kind of boxes to put my 500 patterns in. Well, the only problem was 2 patterns next to each other won't fit in one of these boxes. They will if you put it sideways, but I didn't want it sideways. I wanted it long ways because I wanted it to hold more patterns, right? So I thought, well, what can I do? What can I do? And did y'all know that McCall's patterns are wider than other patterns, and the Vogue patterns are wider? And so you have to have enough room to put 2 of them next to each other. So I went to Amazon, and none of the egg crates were the right size. None of the banker's boxes were the right size. So then I started looking at these other kinds of just cubes, storage cubes, and they're cubes to like store your clothes in, your sweaters in, your shoes in, stuff like that. And I found one that had the perfect measurements for me to put 2 patterns side by side all the way back. The boxes I got are 9 inches up and down. They're 17 inches from front to back, and they're 13 inches this direction. See, this box isn't 13 inches. And of course I don't have anything to measure it with. Hold on. This is the egg crate. And the egg crate, and you have to do the inside measurement. The egg crates only have 12 1/4 inches, maybe 12 3/8 inside. Because, you know, they have that little thing to put the hanging files on, and so they're not very big. They're only made to hold an 11.5 file folder, okay? And 2 patterns next to each other are more than 12. So these boxes that I found are like 13 inches inside there, from side to side. I don't need any hanging files. I didn't use any hanging files. I just stuck those patterns in there. So, you want to see them? It took 4 of the new kind of containers. They're cloth, but they're kind of heavy duty, and they have a bottom in them. They have lids, but you cannot stack them on top of each other. That is the one thing that I didn't like, is you can't stack them. But then again, I don't really want them stacked because it just make it harder for me to get into them. So I got all 500 patterns in 4 of these new boxes. I have them spread out in here. I'll take the camera and show you. And I don't have the lids on them, but I'll show you one with the lid on, or 2 or whatever. We'll see what I show you when I get in there. Stay with me. You remember my thread, and you can see I've added more thread on hooks underneath, and look at that. I have extra hooks. And in my little pink box, I have put all of the change I have found laying around up here. I've got to figure out a way to turn that change into bills. You know, if our bank would ever open and let anybody in. Okay, so this is the pegboard that I put in here when I very first when Jerry and I first built this house, and this was my sewing room, so this pegboard was still here. And so down here, and this isn't where these are going to stay, but there's where they are right now. These are the boxes I've been telling you about. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And I have 500 patterns in those 4 boxes. See here? See how wide this vogue is right here? So, you could not get this vogue pattern and another pattern next to each other. I doubt you could get 2 vogue patterns in there side by side. But I don't have hardly any vogues. That's the only one here, actually. But the McCall's patterns are wider than the New Looks. But you can see here, I've got all those patterns in there and room to spare in the middle. So that's my new pattern system, you guys. And they have lids. Let's get the lids are all right here next to this chair. And they're nice. They're cloth. All right, that's the box with the lid on it. And I thought that I could get away with just saying box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4, but you can't do that because you have to know what numbers are in each box. See, at first I thought I'd put my counter book in order by boxes. No, that can't work. Or I thought that I would label every picture by box. No, I don't want to do that either. So, we are going to put on there, I used my label gun again, my label thingy. Just in case you all don't know what that is, I'll show you. Did you ever watch Friends? Monica had the label machine. Monica was my personality. Sort of. So anyway, I'm going to put the actual numbers on the box, and as I add numbers to it, if the beginning and end number change, I'll just make a new label. Here is my label machine that I keep talking about. It is a Brother, and it is so cool. You just type in what you want to type, and you hit print, and then there's a cutter over here, and I'm sure most of you totally know and have your own. But oh my goodness, it sure has helped me with this project. It has helped me so much. You don't have to use Target. You don't have to use anybody to do your pictures. If you just have a few patterns, hey, do it yourself. I am going to do all the pictures myself from now on, but I didn't want to start with 500, you can understand. It was much cheaper for me to send all of those to Target and let Target print them out, and it took like 2 weeks. They said it was going to take 3 weeks. It didn't. It only took 2. So I got them back a lot sooner. In fact, I think it only took like 8 days. So do that if you have many patterns. But if you only have a few patterns, hey, take the pictures yourself. I have been doing that. I went to Hobby Lobby and got 4 patterns the other day, and I just took the pictures myself and printed them off. And mine are actually much better because I can crop them to 3.5 by 5 much easier with my software, and then they come out very nice and they fit, you know. Well, of course the others are 3.5 by 5 also, but sometimes Target, there was 2 of them Target actually cut the number off of when they cropped it. And sometimes they'd cut the girl's arm off, or they'd cut the girl's foot off or something. So anyway, when I do it, they come out perfect the way I want them. Okay, so don't think you have to send your pictures off somewhere to get them developed. You don't have to do that. Okay, that's my system. I would love to know what your system is. Some of you have already told me what yours is. I know Jen takes her patterns out of the envelopes and puts the envelopes in the book. Well, I didn't want to separate the innards from the outers on mine. I wanted to keep it all together. So, and I know that Becky keeps her patterns all in order by number without differentiating McCall's and Butterick and stuff like I do. But I don't know how she keeps the pattern. I don't remember if Becky told me how she keeps the, if she takes a picture of the pattern or if she keeps the envelope. I don't remember what Becky said about that. But if you look up Sewing Pattern Organization on YouTube, probably be 100 videos come up, okay? So I'll let you go for now, and I'll be back soon. Bye.